Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, step right in, it's a funky display. Talking shit, today's the vibe we portray. No filters, no rules, just letting it flow. Strap in, folks, it's the shit show. Welcome to the shit show, buckle up tight. We dropping raw truth, keeping it light. Laughs and chaos, that's how we play. Talking shit today, all night, all day. All day.
Welcome back, X. Here we are again. You ready to do this?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. It's episode 5.
Ooh,
Cinco de Show.
Ooh, the Cinco.
So, quick funny story. Cinco de Mayo is our cat's birthday, one of our cats, as termed by the vet. Because we found him around the proximity of when Cinco de Mayo was. So, whenever I get a chance to riff on that, I always will. So, how you been, man?
You know, just feel like I'm in the 9th round here.
9th round, yeah.
It's been a shit show of a week for quite a few of us, but you know what? Life is 10% what it throws you and 90% how you deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, life's been a motherfucker lately. It has been kicking me in the teeth, elbow dropping me on the balls, and took a victory lap. But I am glad to be here with you doing this talking shit today.
Likewise, friend.
Absolutely. So, how about we get right into it?
Let's go. So what's in the glass?
I'm glad that you asked. Funny you would ask that sort of question on a show we term Bourbon, Dads, Jokes, and Life. So I actually brought 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
A trifecta this week.
Yeah. And I know that we've said before that we would just keep it to 1 because it's a little bit easier. I don't know if I could just do 1 this time. So the first bottle that we have is a bottle that I've actually been sitting on for almost a month.
Okay.
And as you know, I don't like to sit on bottles. I like to open them.
They hurt.
And share with friends. I guess it depends on the amount of practice you have, and we'll leave that there.
I'm done.
So the bottle that I got, I was inspired to purchase because I was nudged by Big Red, who found this from a local bourbon group called BAWS, B-A-W-S, which is the Barrel Aged Whiskey Society.
Where are they out of?
I don't really know. I'm glad you asked me a question I wasn't ready for, but we'll find out and we'll give them a really good plug. I do know that they're around here. I'm part of their Facebook group, and I'm also part of the messaging group that they have going on. So that way we can, see the picks that they do. They're an active group. They do lots of picks throughout the year. And this happens to be one of them. So the bottle that I was nudged to buy is from Old Louisville. This one happens to be their 11-year bourbon. Okay. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon, but I have some facts I want to go through here. It's not the highest proof. Matter of fact, none of what I have here are in our normal 120 to 130 range.
All right.
So be prepared for that. And I have to warn you ahead of time, Lumpy, weeded might be involved. So prepare yourself, but okay. I hear this is a banger. Louisville has, or Old Louisville rather, has several different expressions of these. They happen to pick this 11-year. The bottle that I'm holding on to is bottle 93 of 153. It is 119.2 proof. And let me go into some of the details about this single barrel pick.
Okay.
So let me hand that to you. It's a very beautiful label, beautiful bottle, wonderful color to the juice inside.
It's a very classic label.
Yeah. And so normally it's bottled at 109 proof. So this one's just a tad better than that. Not by a whole lot. They say that this is non-chilled, filtered, and uncut, which means it's an unfiltered bourbon, which I've had one other expression that was unfiltered, which was one of the E.H. Taylors that we had over at Kenny's.
Okay.
Fantastic. This is, so Old Louisville Whiskey Company is a non-distiller producer. So if you ever see NDP, that's what that means. But it does mean that they select the juice. They will handle the bottling and sometimes the finishing of the product. This juice actually comes out of Indiana. And then, of course, it's bottled and distributed out of Kentucky. So let's see here. The tasting and aroma notes. It says caramel, toasted oak, vanilla, dried cherries, warm spices, dark fruit, and roasted nizuts.
These nizuts?
So this has gotten nothing but great reviews from the folks that have had it so far, and I've been holding on to my chance to provide a review. And then as far as finish, unfortunately, I forgot that. Finish is supposed to be long, warming with lingering oak and cocoa spice.
Cocoa spice. Okay, that sounds interesting.
It does. So I say, my friend, pop that top and we'll get a pour down and see what we think.
So let me just throw out the mash bill for all of you bourbon geeks out there, or whiskey geeks. 75% corn, 25% rye, 4% barley. That's maybe I'm wrong on this, but is it like a lot of the products we see coming out of Indiana are very high on the corn scale?
Yes, I think that's true of a lot of the Midwest kinds of bourbons and ryes and whatnot. I know that I've talked about it before with you, but I don't know if we've talked about it on the air. There is a Middle West distilling, and they're out of Columbus, Ohio, and they have a pumpernickel rye.
Ooh.
Which is very good. So I don't know if I bottle killed that one or not. I'd have to go look back at the shelf, but we had it over at Slobby's house. So that was pretty good.
All right.
So if you'll do the honors.
Thank you. I don't mind if I do.
Oh,
all over you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And there are apparently lots and lots of different kinds of glasses to drink from. We tend to go with the Glens. But I happen to be following a lot of folks on the TikToks, as you know, and there's a glass that's out there. It's a rocks glass called Dymus, and it looks really interesting. I have been looking at glasses, and they're not the cheapest things in the world, but you know what? They're things that are going to get used all of the time, so may as well. It looks a little thin on the legs, to be honest with you, but I can see, as I swirl my glass, that it's hanging on. So that's pretty appealing.
Yeah, it's looking pretty nice. It's got a nice amber color.
Absolutely.
Wow. Let's put the nose on it.
Yes. Definitely having caramel. I can smell the fruit for sure. I can tell you this too. This is an aroma that won't punch you in the face. This is pretty pleasing.
It's got a great nose. Great nose.
Yeah. All right. I'm going in.
You do it.
That has a lot going on.
All right. My turn.
So while Lumpy's going in, caramel, toasted oak definitely comes through. The vanilla is there, but more like a hint. As it settles in, the warm spice comes through. There's the fruit. I'm having a hard time getting the nuts. There's a joke in there, I'm sure.
I was just thinking that.
But it's they're also not wrong on the finish, because now the cocoa's starting to come in.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn good pour.
I get that.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Especially if you get the nuts.
Between sitting on bottles and nut jokes, we are definitely hitting out of the park already.
All right.
So, what'd you think?
I think that's tasty. And for me, my first sip of any product is always a little harsh to start with, regardless. But first sip in, pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I like the finish. I think I like the finish most of all.
And it's a lot longer than our normal pour.
It is. I didn't care too much. Well, the nose is good. Didn't care too much with the front side. The mouthfeel was okay. Not bad. The finish was the best part of it. And, for me, obviously, again, back to using the same word again, the trifecta, the front side, the mouthfeel, the finish is...
And the nuts.
And the nuts, X. This is a good bottle. This is a good bottle. I wouldn't turn down a pour of this ever. I'll give you a little bit better review hit here once I have a secondary sip of this thing.
Sure. And, shout out to Big Red for recommending to get this. And it wasn't because he had it either. He just said, hey, I saw this. You need to get it. And then he offered to get the next one. So we'll have to get together with him next time that Boz has a pick out, and we'll be able to do that together as well.
So let me say shout out. What's up, Big Red, if you're listening? Thanks for the suggestion here. So you're going to laugh about this here.
Mm.
And the second sip rather, was less pleasing on the mouth. I'm getting a Scotch-esque sort of taste to it.
Interesting.
But it's only brief.
Well, and honestly for me, and I'm not sure what's bringing that Scotch flavor, but the corn is what, for me, when I get a heavy corn mash bill, I love the sweetness that comes with it. Like my favorite, it's a 100% corn mash bill, I believe, from Cody Hill, the distillery that my mom got a bottle from for Christmas last year. And it's all locally sourced corn that they use. And it is cornbread in a bottle. It's so good. So are you and your palate ready for the next?
As soon as I clean my palate with a shot of this water here.
So the next bottle that I have here is a unique one. At least for me. I'm a basic bitch, as you know.
Well,
I
am too.
I also am new to this experience of all these different bourbons. And I've been lucky enough to talk with people with a lot more experience. And I asked about this bottle that I saw in one of our brand new Happy Finds lately. And everybody I talked to said, you need to get it. So I did.
What is it?
This is Buffalo Trace's Distillery's Kosher Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Wheat Recipe. I know Buffalo Trace to a point. I know BTAC to a point. I did not know about this until about 6 or 7 months ago, and I've never seen it before. Buffalo Trace, as you know, is at least their bottle called Buffalo Trace. It's kind of entry level. It's the $30 bottle that's on every shelf now. Like when we first started, it was very difficult to find that.
Yeah.
Now
it's everywhere.
I can't go to a place and not find Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, you can go to the shittiest liquor store and there's a bottle of Buffalo Trace there.
Right. And people still talk about Buffalo Trace as, ooh, I got a bottle of Buffalo Trace. Hey, good for you. I'm glad that you got that. Won't be your first one, or it might be your first one, won't be your last one. So really good for you that you got that.
Yeah.
But you eventually realize that it's in a lot of places. This is something I've never seen in the wild at all, anywhere. So part of me was like, I want to get something I can't get. Plus, it wasn't really that expensive. When I say that expensive, let me just clarify. It was not expensive. It was very reasonable to get something that wasn't a raffle, was able to finagle it out of the raffle. So this is no longer in the raffle. It is here with us.
And I just want to say something, too, about the Buffalo Trace Distillery for a lot of people who are listening to our show and don't really know Buffalo Trace. And if they're still just starting on bourbon, there are a ton of different products that come out of that Buffalo Trace distillery. It may not have the Buffalo Trace name on it, but they just keep coming, man. Well,
and if I can get a hold of one that I'd like to see is the Buff Turkey. Now, people have a little bit of mix, but most people like it. It's the Russell's mash bill that was aged at a Buffalo Trace distillery.
Okay.
It's just neat to think about. So, because I like both, so might as well.
So the benchmark, our $21.99 favorite bottom shelf with a screw off top out of Buffalo Trace Distillery. Amazing product.
So let me go ahead and go in some facts on this bottle before we pop it, pour it, taste it. This was the warning I gave you about something wheated, because it does have wheat recipe large on the label. Again, this is a really pretty label, and unfortunately we can't show people. I have put it on my TikTok, so go check out General X on TikTok. But it has a very classic look to it. It almost looks like it belongs in one of those leather-bound lounges with copper everywhere, leather and teak wood everywhere, or mahogany everywhere.
I have many leather-bound books. My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Love it. So I got to say, they did a really good job with labeling this. Not every bottle's got a pretty label to it. So here are the facts. So yes, this is a wheated bourbon because it has wheat instead of rye or other grains that would be used for it. The mash bill itself is not known specifically, but it is reported or speculated to be 70% corn. So it will carry through all the great things that a good corn whiskey will. 16% wheat and 14% malted barley, and it's aged 7 years. This one clocks in at the lowest of what we'll try today at 94 proof. And just a real quick note about kosher handling. You're reading the label, and you'll see on the label that it says that this was blessed by Chicago rabbis as being kosher. So this is certified kosher product. So for anybody that is Orthodox Jewish that's drinking, this is a very favorable product for you that you could drink because it's absolutely kosher. Now, I don't know the status of kosher on other whiskeys. This one happens to be labeled as such.
So to our Jewish friends, you can get down on Passover.
Yes. You can set the Manischewitz aside if you want and put Buffalo Trace kosher if you'd like. It is matured in barrels dedicated or converted to kosher compliance, and the bottling lines are all cleansed. The barrels were sold and handled in a particular way to maintain kosher status. So now as far as tasting notes, it is fruity and sweet in character, cherry, apple, caramel, vanilla, some baking spice, along with the oak tannins on the finish.
Okay, yeah.
And then another interesting part of this is that it's released on Passover each year. So if you're paying attention to when Passover is, you should then be able to look on the shelves and see if you can find this.
After Passover. That's when it says.
Sorry, yes, after Passover.
Okay.
So, ready to give it a pop?
You get to open this one, buddy.
All right.
This one's all you.
So, and I'm not one that really looks for unicorn bottles, and I don't know if anybody would consider this a unicorn bottle. You know, Pappy 23, you see that in the wild, and you're willing to spend $1,200 on it.
Nope.
By all means. But to me, I've never seen this before. I've heard about it. I've read about it. I've seen it in, videos, social media, things like that, but never held on to it.
I saw that over in Winter Garden at a Mexican restaurant called Azteca. I sent you a picture of that one day when I was down there because I had never seen it before.
Well, and now we get to try it. You ready?
Let's go.
A little quiet on this, no squeaks here.
Oh, God, all over you.
That was good. This is the best pop we've had on the mic so far.
Yeah, that was a good one. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Going to go a little bit lighter on the pour than I did the last one.
Love the sound effect.
I think that this whole experience with bourbon, there's so many things that are part of the experience. The sights, the sounds, the smells, but especially the sounds of the pop, the clinking of the glasses, and the actual liquid pouring is fantastic.
It's like once you pop, you can't stop.
Right? I think that this one is a little more amber in color than the old Louisville.
I agree.
And since I still have some of that in my glass, I can compare.
Oh, well, they're pretty close, bud.
They really are close, but I think the Buffalo Trace gets a little bit of the edge.
Yep, I would agree. I would agree completely.
So I will say that this looks like it's thin on the glass. It comes down pretty quick.
It's a little lighter on the proof too. Oh,
Sure.
This has got great legs. This thing has got great legs.
There we go. All right. On the nose. That's interesting.
Light on the nose.
Yeah, very light.
Not a lot of ethanol hit in the front. That's pretty pleasing.
Sweet.
Very sweet.
You know how you get a lot of caramel and vanilla spices or smells on most of the whiskeys that we have?
Oh, yeah.
This one has something else.
God.
And I can say I can pick up oak on the smell. Sorry, on the nose. My basic bitch coming out. Sorry.
Why do you could be such a basic bitch, Rex?
I know.
Oh, my God.
All right. Damn, dude. So I went in on tasting it. I don't get sweet right away. I get more of your classic whiskey flavors, bourbon flavors, in the way that I remember some of the Wellers that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as thick or deep as the Antique 107, but more in the same vein as the Special Reserve, the one that's pretty easy to get a hold of. Fruit starts to come through, quick finish. Maybe not quick, maybe more medium on the finish.
I get at the finish, and everybody's palate's different. For me, I'm getting like apricots at the end.
Yes.
And I have to, my wife will laugh if she hears this. X, I gotta tell you, this is the first wheated bourbon.
What?
Yep.
Keep going.
I'm going to say it. The first wheated bourbon that I can actually say I will get down on. This is, now I don't know if it's the the volume of wheat in the mash bill on this one? Because some of them we've had, I believe, were much higher on the wheat in the mash bill. This is enough to not taste like scotch to me. And that was what I was very afraid of coming into this episode with these bottles.
Let me say, I am happy to have this one, and I think we'll have to keep sharing it. We'll share it with others, and maybe even some handshakes.
That is damn good.
So let me say this. The first listener that will send talkingshittoday@gmail.com an email telling me what you think and why you want this Buffalo Trace, I'll send you a handshake. Just send me your information.
And we'll send you a surprise handshake.
Oh, sure.
On top of it.
So I have to say, this is pretty damn good. I'm glad I found it. All the reviews that I heard from the people that I talked to, mostly sitting in lives on TikTok, they just said, get it, you want it, and can't wait till you get the chance to crack it open. So,
fuck, man, I'm on my 4th sip of this already. You got a straw? Just kidding. That is damn tasty.
That has a lot of flavor, and for a 94 proof.
And
this is danger, though.
If anybody out there can find one of these bottles, and again, it is the Buffalo Trace Distillery Kosher Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
The wheat recipe.
Correct. The wheat recipe. I couldn't see the label over the top of my laptop here, so this is damn good. So if you would,
yes,
can you tell us what the MSRP on this is?
So the MSRP on this is just $40.
Wow.
$39.99. People say that they have found it for $50 to $60, thinking it's MSRP. So that might just be MSRP around us. But I will say this. Good luck finding it on the first market. Secondary is probably where you're going to find it. You'll probably at least pay double. I know that on secondary, I don't mind paying 20% more, maybe even 30% more if it's something that I really want.
Yeah.
But I try not to spend more than that if I can help it.
God, this is damn tasty, buddy. I don't even want to put this glass down. I will finish this before we move on.
Okay. So tell me then, what is it that you like most about this since you're raving so much?
It's smooth. I like the apricot finish. I love apricots, by the way, especially dried apricots. I eat them every week. And that is, just for my palate, that's an extremely pleasing flavor. And this has it.
It's almost like a very light syrup.
Yes.
When it comes to the flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. You put the character to it there. That's great. I couldn't have said that better. I like the higher proof bourbons for one reason and one reason only. Because it's hard to find a good whiskey, a good bourbon under 100 proof that wows me with flavor.
Sure.
They're kind of mundane. They're like, okay, they're good, but maybe.
Well, that Elvis Rye, I think, hit it out of the park for what it was.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. From episode 4, that was another one that was awesome. And I'm sure there's many more out there that there's, who knows, thousands of different varieties that haven't been tried yet that I'm sure that are equally as lovely. But this is one of the very few that I've actually had. That's awesome.
Well, and while I'm on my journey to find as many hazmats as I can, here I am raving about a 94 proof. And no knocking it. It really is good.
That is absolutely fucking tasty.
So how about this? While you're going in on the rest of that, because I see you don't have that much left, so enjoy.
I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Let's go into the last bottle that we have, because we might have the rest of the episode to go through. All right, Lumpy, so are you ready for round 3?
Let's go.
All right. So I have something that has come by high recommendation.
Okay.
And we happen to see one of the expressions when we found our gem. This happens to be something else. And while it's from the same company, this is a different kind of expression, one that both you and I have been looking for. So this is a short barrel, which is a distillery out of Georgia. And I think that marks Georgia off the list. However, I'll go into more detail on this.
Have you been keeping track of these states?
16 states.
You have a map in your office or whatever, right?
Well, I keep it online and then I'm using different apps to track. I haven't found the way I want to do it the best. So once I do, then I'll be able to put it to a map and share. So just to remind everybody, I, General X, have a goal to have at least one bottle from every state.
And my goal is to drink from every bottle that you get from every state.
So, and I just think it's a neat way to experience the whiskeys and the bourbons and the ryes and the single malts that are not the popular ones, the typical ones you see everywhere. I've said before that I like a bottle with a story. I like a distillery with a story, like the Mammoth Distillery, which I love a lot because of the story that they have. Mammoth Distilling, as I've said before, they plant all their rye in a national park. They negotiated with the government to be able to use an island out in the Lake Michigan, I think, where they plant their rye. They grow it there, they harvest it, they use it in their distilling process, and then they source from different like Canadian whiskeys and other whiskeys around, and they do some pretty fun stuff.
They are taking a piece of uninhabitable ground and using it for agriculture, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And kudos to the state for allowing them to do that.
For sure. I couldn't agree more. When I hear, especially we were talking earlier about the Midwest distilleries tend to use a lot of corn. Well, corn is a huge crop in the Midwest anyway.
The Corn Belt.
And you don't have soybeans in your whiskey. So which is another big crop for the area.
That could be the next big thing. Want to try some of my soy whiskey?
Oh, I
I
don't
like
know.
Soy sauce, man.
If it can be distilled into an alcohol, I guess we can figure that one out.
I guess anything it can get fermented.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and they do ferment it for their tofus and all that other stuff, so who knows. Anyway, I digress.
Okay.
So, but back to what I have in my hand right now. This is the short barrel, which I've heard nothing but good things from. They are out of Georgia. This one happens to be their cigar batch. And now I have had one cigar batch Penelope that I had taste of at Kenny's Liquors.
We both tried that.
And it was
Thanks, Big Red.
really, really good. And Big Red's observation on that was that this would be excellent with a stick. So maybe after the show, we sit down with a couple sticks if this fits that same bill. So I'll give some facts and then we'll go ahead and do some popping and pouring and tasting. So Short Barrel is a craft boutique brand that's based out of Atlanta, but they source their juice from Kentucky and Indiana. The Cigar Batch line is a blend of finished straight bourbons. This is whiskeys that have gone through a secondary finishing in various casks rather than a pure straight bourbon. Batch 2 in particular, which I'm not sure that this is combining Kentucky and Indiana whiskeys that have been finished in cognac, rum, Armagnac, and tawny port casks. Actually, I think that's what this one is.
What is Armagnac?
I think we need to look that up because I'm an idiot and I don't know. So while I'm doing this, maybe you can do a quick ChatGPT or Google search. As far as age statement is concerned, it's not exactly clear on the age statement, but one of its components is a 9.9-year Kentucky whiskey that's finished in the cognac and rum casks. The other component is a 6.5-year from Indiana that's finished in the Armagnac and tawny port. The tasting profile, which this sounds like it's going to go along with what a cigar finish should be, smoky oak, baking spice, candied fruit, leather, and vanilla. There's not really any added sweetness in the finishing for this, and it is designed to pair with cigars, hence the cigar batch branding. So it makes sense that they're calling it a cigar batch because it is meant to pair with cigars.
Okay.
So, and there's a lot of different cigars out there, so makes sense to me. So I think we found some information.
Okay.
Because being the basic bitch, I know I keep going back to that. There's a lot of things I don't know. But because I don't know, I love to learn. So Armagnac, which I'm probably still butchering the pronunciation, sorry. It's a type of French brandy with a distinctive character and has long history. Here's a breakdown. It is a great base brandy made in the Armagnac appellation which is a particular part of France. It's one of the oldest distilled spirits in France, whereas many brandies, like cognac, are double distilled. Armagnac is traditionally single continuous distillation, which tends to preserve more of the wine's character and give it a more robust, full body. There are different versions of this, but that general description fits what most of these Armagnacs are going to be like. Well, I think it like cognac, Armagnac. That's my guess.
Armagnac.
Armagnac.
Armagnac. Not your Magnac.
Armagnac. It's going to become.
We share it.
It's going to become one of those words. Like no matter how you say it, it's going to sound wrong.
Yeah, I get that.
Peripheral, or words like that.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Fuck it. All right. So where are we going? Where are we
well,
got?
I think you're up on deck.
I get to pop.
To pop this bad boy.
All right, Short Barrel. Let's see what you got for us.
A little bit of a letdown. That's okay. It's open and it's ready to pour. We'll see what we can get here.
I think it has a lot to do with the type of cork. If you notice, this is one of those
oh, sure.
Like pseudo rubber corks. Oh, thank you, X.
Absolutely.
The ones with the real corks got their
Sure do. And I have to say that those are much more fun. So come on, distillers, invest in your corks.
I'll pay an extra 20 cents. Come on.
Happy to.
We like the squeaky pops. Come on.
And for all the audience, like, follow, comment, share. You love us. We love you. Let us know that you're telling everybody else.
Indeed.
About Talking Shit Today with General X and Lumpy. Let's get into this, man. Nosing.
I smell a lot of dark fruit on
yes.
this one.
It's a lot sweeter than I was expecting.
Very sweet. And again, for people who are still just starting their bourbon journey, when we say dark fruits, we're talking like raisins, plums,
right?
Things of that nature. Cherries sometimes could fall under that. It's got a nice color. It's got a good color. Very, very pleasing.
And I'm going to say this probably has the thickest legs that we've seen so far.
Let's see what these legs can do.
That is very fun. Okay, I'm going to go in. Oh, it even smells a little bit smoky.
And also for our newer bourbon journey folk, legs, when you talk about legs, is when you swirl the whiskey or bourbon in the glass, once you settle it and you wait for it to run down the sides of the glass inside, it'll have streaking or I don't know how else to put it, but you'll see that it starts to have
like rivules of liquid are running down the side.
Indeed. So what's your first take? I haven't gone in yet.
That is smoky. That reminds me a lot of the Penelope cigar that I had, except this one's got more sweetness to it. The vanilla is definitely there, but I think the port is coming through a lot.
Well, I haven't even... oh, man. What a great nose this has.
It's got at least a medium finish. The mouthfeel on this one's the best so far, in my opinion. This is really fantastic. For the person who recommended getting the short barrel, thank you so much. I am glad that I sought this out when I saw it on the shelf. Because in that gem we went to, we saw those short barrels that they had on the shelf that were their picks, but they have 3 more expressions down the aisle.
Wow.
This is really good. Dude, I don't know if I'm not having them compete between these 3 bottles because
there's no competition.
They're all good in their own right.
This is another amazing pour.
You know what this would go well with if you were going back and forth is that 13 Colonies you picked up.
Oh yeah.
With this and then going between the 2 with cigars. Brother.
That could be a really fun night, buddy.
Hell fucking yeah.
That's good. That's real good. I get that smokiness. Hold on. I gotta go in for another one.
Seriously. The sweetness while you're drinking it, while it's setting on your palate, it's almost creamy in how it sets.
Well, I will say this. I hate to bring a negative, but I got to bring every part of it. The flavor is incredible. I mean, the mouth feels good.
Mm-hmm.
The finish is really good, but somewhere between the mouth feel and the finish, it's the ethanol.
Interesting. Well, this is the higher proof of the 3 that we've had tonight.
What was the proof on this again?
115?
115, which is moderate for what we like.
Correct.
This to me this is not as smooth as some of the higher proofs that we had. Don't get me wrong. I will drink this till the cows come home. And
the only thing I'll say that I won't drink a bunch of is the Evan Williams, and I'll drink it as a mixer.
I won't even go that far. Sorry.
I'll take it as a mixer.
Well,
throw some Screwball in with it. You're all good. Better than Fireball.
Oh God. I know people they drink that religiously, and you know what?
Good for them.
Good for them. Whatever tickles your wiggle is what we say, right?
That's right.
But anyway, so yeah. Overall, I would say I'm gonna give this the first rating of the 3. Out of 10, I would give this a 7.9.
I would respectfully disagree. I think this is more in the 8.5 range for how this sets on the palate, the smoky finish. This is one of the few that kind of steps up to all the descriptors that it has. It's smoky in the nose. It's smoky on the finish. It's sweet on the palate. This one actually, I think it lives up to its billing. That's why I would rate it higher.
All right, so I've gone in for 4 small sips of this already. And I would actually have to say now, because I don't know. I mean, the first 2 sips were pretty harsh, and I don't know why. That was rare for me.
Sure.
Sip 3 was better. Sip 4 was best. I will actually change my rating now. I'll put that up around 8.5, 8.7. This is actually much better now. And
yeah, and I think what the standout for me on this one is how sweet it is on the palate. Because it really is creamy, caramelly. It has the fruit notes, especially as it finishes. But then once you swallow and you enjoy the mouthfeel, that's where the smoke sets in again. It really is awesome.
Okay. That's actually really good. It has grown on me.
So since you introduced rating, so the Buffalo Trace, your favorite weeded ever?
I'm going to go a little higher on my rating that you would think that I would give on a weeded. And a lot of this has to do with surprise, 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 surprise. Guess what? I give it an 8.
Okay. I agree only for that it's a lower proof, and I tend to like a higher proof. I will say, though, that the experience was very pleasant, very flavorful.
Okay.
It was very smooth and very easy to drink.
Oh, no doubt about that.
So I'm going to go in a bit higher than that. I'm going to give it an 8.8.
Okay.
Which leaves us with the Old Louisville 11-year Boz barrel pick. Single barrel, unfiltered, uncut.
8.9.
Fair. And I still have a little bit of my glass to help remind me of that wonderful nose.
Oh my God, dude. I just went back in for the nose on that. Oh, the sugar sweet caramel candy.
So I'm going to knock it out a little bit. 9.2. I'm going to put that up in the 9 range. That really is good. They're all great.
Oh my God, dude.
Really, truly, all 3 of these bottles are bangers. Everybody needs to go find them. Everybody needs to add them to your shelf if you can afford it. If you find it, it is so good. Yeah, all 3 of these. So thanks for everybody that made recommendations on these pours.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Because honestly, all 3 of these have one thing in common, is that somebody recommended buying them. So I am grateful for that, and I'm grateful to share it with you, Lumpy.
Likewise. See, the cool thing is in the bourbon community that we're surrounded by is that, you get these recommendations from people, and, what they might like, you might not. We could have had a stinker.
Sure.
And it has happened.
When I've been concerned in the past for things that we've tried that might not work out great, but worked out well.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, so far so good. Absolutely. So we had 3 really amazing pours today. I would say, as you know, for that old Louisville, you know, I gave it an 8 for the simple fact, to me, it almost again has that sort of Scotch taste to it. Amazing nose, amazing. I think that has the best nose out of all 3 of these.
for sure.
And I didn't really realize that until I set it down and came back to it after
Sure.
trying 2 others. Wow, very pleasing.
Yeah, my palate's very happy right now.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
So is my liver.
So I think we have reached the end of what's in our glass as far as describing it. Obviously, we still have some juice in the glass, so we can continue drinking as we go through. So we have a history now, 5 episodes in, Cinco, if you will.
Ooh, the Cinco.
Of making some interesting transitions from one unrelated topic to another.
Oh, yeah.
So let's keep that going.
Well, it is talking shit today. So
absolutely.
It is bourbon.
Dad life, everything else that goes with it.
Dads like bourbon.
That's right. So I figured we spent a little bit of time last episode talking about our origin story, if you will, into dance.
Oh, yeah.
You and I have both spent enough time in dance. I wanted to share at least one observation.
Sure.
While I have several, I think one in particular is important to me now that wasn't so important to me before. And at our studio, we have several new parents that are coming online to understand what competition is like. They're first-time competition parents.
They struggle with that.
Well, I
not
think they
struggle,
don't know what to expect.
Yeah, that's
right.
Probably a better example.
The kids also don't know what to expect until they go to their first competition and they either fall in love or they don't. There's not really a lot of in between with that. But this is my, I guess, kind of hot take, kind of my the advice I'm willing to give unsolicited for anybody that would listen when it comes to getting into competition. And I want to talk about improv. Improv is something that happens at competitions routinely. Nearly every competition we've been to, there's been some kind of sub-competition that has to do with improvisation. So for those uninitiated, in the dance competition world, people spend time at their studios learning a piece of choreography and then going to a competition to perform that choreography. There are 3 to 4 judges, usually 3, that are sitting there and watching the dance, and they're offering critiques as they go through, and they judge that dance on a 100-point scale. Every competition has a slightly different scale, and they all have different ways to call out first, second, and third. We'll talk about that another time. But occasionally, there is a sub-competition, which is the improv competition. So there's an extra fee. You have to sign up for the improv competition. But when you go, what happens is you get to perform, not you, your dancer gets to perform to a piece of music where they have to improv their way through the choreography, which means they have to make it up as they go. My hot take on this is that it is not just a good experience or a fun thing for your dancer to do. I honestly think that it is not just important, but vital that they go into improv.
Okay. Yeah.
It's taken my big until last year, and remember, she's been dancing for 11 years, to actually go into improv, whereas my little has already done it for 2 years.
The improv part, right?
Correct.
Yeah, right. Okay. Just to make sure we clarify for the listeners.
Sure. Improv is uncertain. It is
not scripted.
Because you don't know what style of music you're going to get. The dancer has to figure out on the fly how to match what style they're going to dance with the style of music that they're going to get. But here's where I think that translates well to their choreographed dance. Figuring out how to dance on the fly is a vital and important skill in competitive dance and in life in general. For example, how much of this do we script? Almost nothing.
We have some bullet points and we shoot from the hip.
And we improv our way through the rest of it. How much of your job is scripted? Nearly none of mine is.
No, not really.
So,
I mean, we have some guidelines, but,
I think that being able to improv effectively is a vital life skill. And I think for our dancers, when they take the plunge to go and compete in an improv competition, what it does is it helps them in the event that, and you've seen this happen from time to time, where the dancer forgets their choreo.
Oh, yeah.
And what's rough, word to anybody that's listening that has a kid in dance, tell your kid the judges don't know what the choreography is supposed to look like. They have no idea. They've never seen it before.
Right.
So when they bring up their dance and the choreographed ones and they forget their choreo, they need to be able to improv their way through until they can remember their choreo again, or just continue to improv until the dance is done. This is important because the judges don't know. What the judges will do is they will judge the technique that they see on stage. They will judge the story that they see on stage, and your dancer's ability to still connect their movement to a story and be technically correct in what they're doing is what will carry through to the judges, whether or not they do the choreography correctly.
Sure, I get it.
So to me, what I've learned over the last couple of years, and really it's only been the last couple of years, is that improv teaches an important, not just life skill, but dance skill that these dancers can use for every one of their scripted dances.
And it helps them tackle their fear of the unknown, because really it's the unknown, because they don't know what they're getting musically.
Yep.
And they have to figure out, it's like a puzzle. They're given pieces and they have to figure out how to put them together.
Sure.
Is the best way I know to describe that. So yeah, I agree. So anyway.
Yeah, I think that improv, and I've had this conversation with a few of the newer parents with younger kids and even with older kids that are just coming into the competition world. And my encouragement to everybody is if you have a kid in competitive dance and you go to a competition where they've got an improv area, bite the entry fee.
Do it.
Could be $25, could be $50.
Do it.
It's worth it.
Do it.
Because the life skill that your dancer is going to learn because of their participation in that will carry through to every scripted dance that they have.
Oh, yeah.
And is a life transferable skill.
Absolutely. I agree. I know we've talked about this before. My daughter's 14. She's been doing this now, almost 10 years. And she, just the last 2 years, I think, she started doing improv. I mean, she's always a deer in headlights when it comes to something where she either A, has to make a decision, or B, she's confronted with something that she has to make a decision.
It doesn't change that much at 16 either. Trust me.
So anyway, but yeah, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I've seen that. Now, and I'm pretty sure for our upcoming competitions where improv's there, she's going to be there.
I love that for her because I'm watching her grow from the things that she's done, like Jeannie, to where she's at now. Like, I've watched your kid grow and dance, and she is not just a beautiful dancer, but her technique has grown a lot. So being able to see her correct some things, which I would love to talk about at another point.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that there's an evolution that dancers go through, but it's not always at the same rate. So there are certain corrections that they're going to get as they evolve and dance.
Oh, yeah.
So your dancer is in the middle of that evolution. So, and she's catching up to my big, which they've danced together.
They have.
And those have been fantastic. I will just say the name of the dance, if you happen to find it, is called Ship to Wreck. And when one of our seniors left, your daughter helped fill in a spot that turned a 4-person number into a 3-person number. And she is fantastic at tap.
That's her favorite genre of dance. 100%.
And I must say, with a fantastic tap choreographer as well.
True. Very true.
That combination of all those things, she's really a hard worker. She focuses on her technique. She takes her critiques and she applies them and she tries really hard.
she's super, super strong, but she's afraid to harness it.
Well, let me just say this. I think that our children in particular do better when they get feedback from others than when they get feedback from us.
Just remember, don't look down.
So, but that's my hot take, so to speak, on dance in general, is that a competition dancer, whether they're first starting out or whether they've been doing it for 10 years, they need to go into improv, because the skills they're going to learn in improvisation will carry them through all of their dances,
Absolutely.
scripted or otherwise, and it will carry on through life.
So, X, you mentioned something that we're going to call Project X. Tell me more, because you left me in the dark there, buddy. You said, I got this thing I'm going to call Project X.
Well, so I think this is our tool time segment.
Tool time with Lumpy.
Lumpy! We really need to come up with a catchy song for that one.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have AI come up with something nifty.
I think that's a great topic for the next episode, because I'm having a lot of fun with that, as you know.
All right, so tell us about Project X. What's going on? What are you doing? Because
Okay.
I'm curious now, because you were like, I might need to borrow some tools.
And so everybody knows, I said I am not sharing this with him until we get a chance to talk about it here. So, in my small house, which you have been to, I have some very old ceiling fans in my children's room.
Okay.
And when I say old, the blades are metal.
What? Metal blade ceiling fans?
They are also kind of a off-white mauve color.
You sure they're just not old and
From the 1950s. Oh, they're clean.
yeah, but they're
are
life stained. Even if they're clean,
life
they're life
stained.
stained.
I like that term, life stained. And they have an electrical cord that's long enough to go through the ceiling, through a hole in the ceiling, down to an outlet to plug in.
Holy shit.
So I have, both in my office and in both my girls' rooms, an electrical project that needs to be accomplished.
Okay.
So let me detail this for you. This is what needs to happen. Now, I thought I was going to approach it a certain way. I'm going to throw that out for now.
Okay.
In my office is, and this is actually true in all of the rooms, in my office is a switch that operates a plug, which I have a lamp plugged into. And I have shitty light in my office. Now, my office is also my craft room. It's where I produce t-shirts. It is where I do a lot of things and house my bourbon. So it needs better lighting, and I have better lighting. I actually purchased a Govee 12-inch light that will go in with all of my other Govee lights, but it's wired. And so it needs a fresh hole in the ceiling.
Okay.
It needs fresh electrical to go to it to power it. And I would like to eliminate the need for the switch, because the light itself is digital and I can run it from the app.
Okay.
So I do not need a switch to run it.
Sure.
So the switch in my room is no longer necessary.
Fair enough.
So I need to revert the electrical outlet so that the top plug no longer operates by the switch, but has consistent power to it.
Okay.
And then I need to run a line to the light so that way it will have consistent power to it, which I can operate digitally.
Easy fix.
And then in the girls' rooms, those ceiling fans need to be replaced with which we have ceiling fans for.
Okay.
So instead of having a line that goes and dips down and plugs into an outlet,
That's crazy.
the switch is no longer relevant, because these also are digital products.
Okay.
So the outlet that is operated by the switch needs to have consistent power, and those ceiling fans need a constant electrical input so that way they can be powered.
Okay.
So that
sounds like you don't need any of my tools. I like it.
I still need wires. I still need it stripped. I still need a couple of pieces of fish tape to be able to pull and drag and all those things.
I've got that cool shit.
So now hold on. I do have a fish, but I don't have everything. So I've given you a project.
I've got fiberglass flexible rods.
So I have given you a project. I want to know what your ideas are hearing what this project needs to achieve.
It requires a small guy like me to go up in your attic.
So I thought putting it in the attic was the right way too. But when I talked with my spouse, she's like, well, why don't you just have a fish run through
Well, you're gonna
versus having to go into the attic?
you're gonna need to get into the attic to drop down the wall, whether to a switch or to an outlet. So you're gonna have to get up in the attic.
Fair.
There's no unless you want to cut like man-size holes in your ceiling, so I don't even have to go up there.
No, but there are cell phones with small cameras that are certainly large enough for the hole that we would cut in the ceiling.
You're gonna have to drill new holes from the top down. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
So really, there's not a lot of specialty tools on this one. It's just a matter of just a lot of labor-based and some drilling, dropping some wires into exact places and
tool time. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. It depends on what you want to do. I mean, I have to take a look since I'm just learning about this now.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Okay, enough of that.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Cheese and fries, motherfucker.
Office supplies, motherfucker. Anyway, we're moving on.
Double price, motherfucker.
So I got to look at the fixtures themselves, see what their needs are.
Basic, standard,
Okay.
positive, negative ground.
They're electrical.
Yep,
On.
yep.
Do you have I/O lighting? What's that? Instant on lighting. You flip the switch, instant on.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a matter of taking a look at the equipment, see how you want to control them. Some things we can figure out if you want to put them on.
Sure.
You can actually put if the switch is no longer relevant.
The switch is no longer relevant in all three rooms.
Then you can take that switch and use it as a fan control.
Mm-hmm.
So we can turn that switch into a fan control.
Which, by the way, that actually is not necessary because the fan control itself would remain on all the time.
Okay, right on. On a side note, you have to show me the fans because, like at my house, we have.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Like I have a fan control switch.
Mm-hmm.
High, medium, low. You can do a slider.
Controlled by app. So we will wire them up. We'll have them connected to the Alexa. We'll wire them up so they will be controlled by apps. So we don't need the switch at all. Now, I suppose we could have the switch to make it easier, but what I don't know is that when power's cut off, if they will not turn back on once the power gets restored. You see what I'm saying?
It might be...
They may need the app in order...
So seriously, like the ceiling fan is like a smart ceiling fan?
Yep.
Shit. I wish you had said something before you bought them?
Yeah.
You have them?
Yeah, we have two of them. One for each room.
You would have probably, and hindsight's 2020, you might have been better off getting a smart switch.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. We can make it work, and I can help you with that. I was just thinking, what do you do when you have no internet and no power? Well, you might have power, but you might not have internet.
Yeah, but with no power, it would be the same no matter what.
Well, yeah, no power, you're fucked either way.
But internet, as long as it's on Wi-Fi, and they're Bluetooth compatible.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
So
I didn't think about that. I've never. Yeah.
And then I'm actually eager to have a bright overhead light in the center of my office.
So you got a big light?
It's 12 inches. I fit 12 or 15.
You've obviously been in my house, but in our living room where we
Yep.
hang out, I've got those four.
Yep.
They're not special Wi-Fi.
I could have done can lights, but I decided to do the big light instead.
So what is it?
It's a Govee. It's a Govee 12-inch light.
Okay.
So, and it gets nice and bright, or it can be whatever color I want it to be. So, yeah.
So it sounds like most of this work is pretty easy. Again, back to what I said before, it sounds like it takes a small guy, myself, to climb up in your attic and just drill a couple holes, drop a couple wires, fish them down, no big deal. We'll figure out the switches, we'll figure out the outlets. All of these seem to be smart devices, so...
Yeah.
And
quite honestly, I'm really excited about the Govee light because I have several Govee products in the house already. One of my favorites is the Govee lights that go around the TV.
Oh, yeah.
So it extends the viewing of your television to your back wall because they shine onto your back wall.
I get those. They're pretty awesome.
They really are.
I turn them on. Actually, I turn them on even when the TV's not on.
And we have the house lights. So like the outside ones that look atrocious right now, but they're atrociously fun. And I like fun.
Fun is good.
Yes. So, Lumpy, thank you very much for the offer of help and the advice from a wiser and, I must say, older Gen Xer.
These nuts.
So, what do you call nuts on the wall? Anyway, so back to nuts.
Can't take this guy anywhere, man. Good Lord.
So I just wanted to go ahead and say 3 great pours,
Indeed.
Some fantastic conversation, and thank you so much. So I think it's time for a toast.
I agree.
To the movers, the makers, and the mildly buzzed philosophers.
May your projects hold tight, your bourbon hit right, and your dreams stay just high enough to chase. Here's to it. Talking shit today.
Dropping troops and making you reflect. We out like a jammer, smooth and slow. See you next time where the convos glow. Words in the air as the beat fades out. Lumpy and next, that's what we're about. So keep it locked till the very last say. Thanks for talking shit, we out today.